What's going on, y'all, and welcome on in. It's patch preview morning, so you know what the drill is. We're gonna go ahead and talk about all the new stuff coming. The main thing is really Zahhak. We'll go and watch the video together. It's fairly short. I'll give my impressions on each of the skills. We'll talk about what I think of him. After that, let's go ahead and look at the exclusive equipment. Smilegate did a nice little patch preview, like condensed video, since there was no live stream today, guys, from Mashu and New. They have a little video covering the exclusive equipment, Advent, some of the banners upcoming. So we'll talk about, summon priority, all my guides and stuff like that. And then last but not least, I'm going to try and put the survey link, guys, in the description below. It should be active. It's not going to be active longer than a day, and I'm not sure. The time it said it was active was in Korean, so I'm not exactly sure. But try, if you're watching this pretty early, you maybe will still get your name in there, and you get some free leaves and gold, okay? They're kind of doing a new method of giving us this patch preview stuff. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and start, guys, because we do got a lot to cover. Let's go ahead and watch the Zahhak preview together. Thanks for joining me, everyone. All right, so I did watch a little bit earlier, but not too much, so a lot of it will be my kind of first reaction with y'all. We already saw the skill 3 animation looks so good.
Everything has a designated
and he's an Earth Warrior, guys.
Without exception.
All right. High-ranking official, serving the Emperors of Theranod. Walk animation, not bad. Looks pretty good. Savior of the Empire, huh? All right. They're showing some expressions there. His unchanging appearance and shining achievements. I mean, guys, I know a lot of the husbando lovers out there freaking out over him. He looks great, right? Okay, here we go. Here's the juicy part. So, Earth Warrior, team imprint defense %, imprint concentration attack, in case anyone wants to go for duplicates. Copies, very high base speed, and then very high crit chance. So guys, take note of the crit chance. Like I said, I did watch a little bit of this earlier. That's going to be very important. 27 crit base. Okay, remember that. I think we can skip ahead here a little bit. He's talking about the same thing. So skill introduction. Skill 3, guys, the one with the awesome looking animation where he like teleports around with clones. Attacks the enemy, inflicting injury. So real fast on injury, guys. It's not the most exciting mechanic. It used to be really meh, but lately with Bellion, with Apoc Ravi, there's a lot of units now, and as long as you don't go for like an injury gimmick team, I don't think that'll work just yet. The more units that kind of work on their own, if you just add injury into their, into the overall kit, into their style, it adds up, and Zahhak's is 35%, so that's very, very significant. Right, on top of that, he gets increased hit chance by 50%, which means, guys, of course, we're going to be able to hit units like Violet, units like Remnant Violet, all these annoying dodge units that people have been complaining about. It's going to be nice versus them. And on top of that, he'll also be able to hit fire units that don't have an extra dodge chance like Milim or are wearing Dreamblade for the extra dodge chance. He'll be able to hit fire units as well without repercussion. Usually you have a 50% hit reduction chance. So very, very nice. And with the 50% crit chance, guys, on top of the 27% crit chance that I told you to watch out for, he's going to have 77% crit chance, meaning we only need 23 crit from gear. That is super, super nice in terms of new player gearing. And on top of that, that'll also, I think, add to his build versatility. Now, I'm assuming with his high base speed, most people will want to go like speed penetration. However, with this ease of gearing, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of my out-of-the-box players, let me know if that's what you guys kind of fit under, will try some other builds on him. I don't know, lifesteal, counter, who knows? Injury, something crazy. The fact that we don't need to build like barely any crit will leave a lot of room for build versatility. But overall, I think Speed Pen is going to look insane in the beginning. We'll see the multipliers. One last note before we move on. I don't think the multipliers will be too crazy, guys, because if he's just one-shotting units, what's the point of this injury unless we're hitting like the tankiest of knights and stuff. I think instead it's gonna be it's gonna hit decently hard. You'll see. I watched it earlier. You'll see how hard it hits on a Violet. Remember, in the skill previews, don't take too much stock into it. It's a test server. There's a lot of different variables, but overall, I don't expect it to usually one-shot too many units. Instead, it's gonna be a nice hit, and then it'll do the 35% injury, which is very, very crazy how much that is. But yeah, let's go ahead and scroll ahead real fast. So here it is. That awesome animation. I love the little sound, by the way, when the red pops up. So yeah, as y'all saw there, guys, it did like 7,000. Don't take too much stock into that, but the 35% injury is crazy nice. And the fact that we can just hit violets is super cool too, right? Interesting skill 3 for sure. Now here's a skill 2. I really don't know how to feel about this just yet. There's so many different things we can do with it. We can lead with the skill 2. Dispel some debuffs, although I don't know if we're building him super fast. I don't know how many other, unless we fight a super fast debuffer that doesn't do silence like Angel of Light. I don't know how important that'll be, but you know, two debuffs from himself, and then a cast ally plus a barrier for 2 turns is really nice, and then 50% CR is good. But I think an extra turn obviously is way better. So I'm not sure if how fast he is if we can lead with this and then go into the skill 3, because if you can see, we'll see in a second, guys, the artifact kind of synergizes with this. So a lot of people want to do the skill 2 into the skill 3, but a lot of times I wouldn't be surprised if you just want to lead with the skill 3 instead, and then maybe use this as a follow-up cleanse into more skill 1s or something. But overall, a nice skill. I think the fact that it has a lot of, you can play it a lot of different ways, but at the same time, I'm not sure how to feel about it overall. Let me know what you guys are thinking so far with this skill 2. Seems a little bit not super synergistic with his kit overall, but it's a strong skill nonetheless. So as you can see there, cleanse, barrier, and it scales off HP, guys. Take note of that. So it'll be better on tankier units. Vulnerability exposed, skill 1. This is actually a pretty stacked skill 1, since a lot of them can be very mediocre, like Ilanov's, which we're going to look at her EE later, guys. But 50% crit chance, which is very important. So now we definitely can just build him with 23% crit from gear, because both the skill 3 and the skill 1 have this increased crit chance. Take note though, guys, the hit chance does not add up here, so he won't be able to hit violets or like fire units as well as the skill 3. But he gets also damage dealt increased when the target is buffed, so that's very nice, because a lot of times nowadays, guys, a lot of units, unless you run a strip unit, a lot of times the target will have buffs. Most units in the game now just have buffs. Alright, we'll go take a look at the skill animation real fast. They're soul burning it for the extra damage. I don't expect to soul burn it too often, guys. 10 souls for extra damage. Sometimes it'll come in clutch, but usually there'll be something more important, at least in the beginning. So yeah, overall, let me know what you guys are thinking for his kit. I think Speed Pen is overall the best. But real fast, let's look at the artifact, because this is super interesting. I don't like, though, that it's so similar to Border Coin, because they're both warrior artifacts. Maybe if it was an artifact for a different class, that would be nicer, but it's so similar to Border Coin. It's kind of just more stacked instead of a scaling up effect like Border Coin stacks up to 3 times. And this one, instead of just, I believe Border Coin does attack and speed, something like that. This one does crit damage and then increases speed of the caster. I'm assuming just speed buff, where Border Coin has a percentage scaling effect. But yeah, I think people will try this. They'll throw on the Pure White Trust and then use his skill to get that 30%, get the speed buff plus the 50% combat readiness push, and on top of his high base speed, and if you build him fast, he's going to cycle back very soon, lapping a lot of units, and then he'll get that increased 30% crit damage for that skill 3. Kind of nice synergy. I don't know if that's going to be his best, when I think a lot of times if you just run Symbol of Unity, we can definitely hit Remnant Violets. We can hit a lot of stuff with that, plus the extra damage. Symbol of Unity is just so strong. It works on most units. Maybe if we want to use that on our other units, we can use this instead. But the artifact seems nice at first glance, especially for him too. So that's always a welcome addition. A lot of times lately, I feel like the artifacts haven't been really great with the unit they come with sometimes. So regardless, boys, that's the overall kit. Let me know what you guys think. I think he's going to be strong, but I'm not sure how meta and if he's going to work for everyone's playstyle. But with the amount of crit he gets, the hit chance, it really depends on his multipliers. But I don't expect him to be one-shotting units with a skill 3. But yeah, I think he's going to be a nice kit, especially for newer players that have trouble with violets. And I'm excited to see what people build on him. All right, so I said, guys, after that, let's go ahead and move on and look at the patch preview. Let's watch this together real fast. Okay, so I'm going to scroll through, guys, together. So we already talked about Zahhak 4.2 is coming, and with it, Auden is getting her next skill upgrade. So, boys, you need to get... I need to start hustling. You guys need to start hustling, too. Let's finish... If you haven't finished episode 2, 3, let's get to 4 and start upgrading our Audens together. And then Tenebria, and then the Advent. Let me scroll through, and we'll talk about these together as I get to them. So that was Zahhak. We already covered that. No need to talk about it. Here's the EEs. Let's talk about this real fast. Oops. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to misclick real fast. Is this the first one? Yes. Ilinov EE. So crit chance is very nice. On top of her imprint, that means like Zahhak, she's going to have a lot of crit just built in, so it'll be easier to gear. Always good. Crit chance, one of the best imprints. However, I think her EE, her exclusive equipment, is pretty terrible. It's super safe and just doesn't really make too much of an impact. Skill 2 punishing, this getting reduced I guess is okay if you build her fast and you can cycle quickly, but for all the slower counter players it's not going to be that great. Skill 3 repel, we get a barrier, which I guess is good. It's always a welcome addition. Makes her tankier after the skill 3, so that's fine I guess. And then this combat readiness is okay too, but none of these are really gonna fix her issues. She's still not going to be a meta unit with this. However, with the increased 12% crit chance, maybe if she gets a buff, remember guys, Mortellix and units like that got their EE, still wasn't enough, and then they got buffed, and then that's going to seem a lot better. So we'll wait to see, but overall, if Smilegate was just adding this for her kit, it's not going to be enough, guys. This isn't really great. Her skill 1 is completely terrible still. It does nothing. I wish like maybe the combat readiness got pushed onto the skill 1 or something. Just she needed more than this if this is all she's getting. But if she gets a buff in tandem, maybe it'll be quite nice, okay? I would love for Ilinov, one of my favorite units, to be much better overall. Now, Lenci's an interesting one. Crit chance 2, super, super good. Crit chance, always great, guys, especially on a bruiser like Lencia that wants a lot of stats. So overall, two buffs to skill 2. The first one, Mind's Eye by 20%. I think that's really nice. It goes from 50 to 20, or 50 to 70, I believe. I haven't used her in so long, but I think it'll be 70% chance now. That's probably going to be overall the best one, because the other one, damage dealt by 20% with using trample, that's all right, but I think we want the chance for Mind's Eye to be more increased, because this is really what, if we don't proc the Noble Blood, she just feels so underwhelming outside of the skill 3. And then the skill 3, the extra effectiveness, I don't know why Smilegate does this, like PvE stuff maybe, but like it increases the effectiveness of the caster I guess after using the skill 3, which you want for the initial strip. It just doesn't seem good, guys. I would not run the skill 3 unless it's for some weird gimmick build. Overall, kind of a miss. The 20% on the Mind's Eye, I think, is the best one. And then last but not least, guys, we have Free Spirit Tieria. And this one, it's a welcome addition to all my newer players. This will give me more attack for, like, hunt one-shot. But for my newer players that are running Free Spirit Tieria, I guess any additional stuff is nice, but this isn't really gonna make or break the unit. She was already really good as a budget wave clearer for super new players, and this will just be a little bit nicer. Just you pick any of the skills, and I guess yeah, kind of go to town. It just a little bit extra stuff, but nothing really. I don't even need to talk about it too much, guys. Pick whichever you want. If it's just for PV stuff, take one that strips or decreases skill cooldown. All right, Advent, guys, Thursday, I'm going to be covering this as soon as it comes out, and I want to do like a quick mini guide on it. Usually I don't cover PV stuff too much, but I'm going to be, I'm going to go with my guildies and we'll break it down a little bit more. Let's start wrapping these up because the video's going a little long. World Arena Saturday. Kind of a long preseason. I don't know how long they usually last, but it feels like it's been a while, which is okay, I guess. Guild name now displayed, okay. Not a big deal. So Zahhak coming, boys. That's fine. Sigret, very, very good early unit for Wyvern. Very good late game unit just in general for, I say late game, but just, she lasts the late game because she's good in Wyvern. Wyvern one shot, and then you can use her for different other areas, or like a super strong single target damage dealer. So never a bad unit overall. But I think most of y'all should still get her from selectives, or had gotten her from selectives. So in case you missed out, maybe grab her from here. And then wait, where's the other banner? Is just so it's Zahhak, Sigret, and then they're talking about Fairytale Tenebria, but I thought there was one other in here. No. Okay, I guess that's it. Oh, I'm sorry, I did skip over it, guys. Flan first. So I knew there was one more. Flan, cleave only, pretty much. She does have a few PvE applications. I remember using her in the old Advent, Alicia the Frost Advent, but mainly just a very aggressive cleave style for Arena or RTA. But you can get her from the episode 3 selective, guys, if you get lucky and find her in there. So try to get her from that first. If not, and if you really want to play that cleave playstyle, you can get Flan. She's coming up soon. But I think the one we really want to save for is Fairytale Tenebria. Now, she's not quite as strong as she used to be, guys, with units like AOL coming out. But Fairytale Tenebria is still insanely good for RTA. Maybe some PvE applications here and there, but not too many. The main thing really is RTA, if you lock her in, guys, when your opponent does not have a comp set up for her, she will single-handedly either be a must ban or she'll take over the match by just providing so many debuffs, defense breaks, lockdown on the provokes that, you know, she gives you so much of an edge that she'll close out the match, or she'll at least put you so far ahead you'll be able to close out the match, meaning she'll be a must ban typically, or your opponent has to have something ready. But very strong unit still, and I advise that the fact that she's limited, you pick her up. The artifact itself is not really that great, especially not for her. You typically don't want to go damage on her, but units like Champion Zerata, I've seen a few gimmick builds run around with this. It's really not great, but being limited, make sure you get one of her, one of the artifact, just in case. But definitely pick up one copy of Fairytale Tenebria for sure, okay? So coming soon, guys, and then after that, I expect it's going to be Cerise. All right, that being said, boys, real quick, Judge Kisei, we already knew she was coming out, but until she gets buffs, I would not recommend pulling for her. And then from the coin shop, which a lot of y'all don't have, Last Rider Crow or Ruel, which real fast, guys, this is interesting because I think the fact that they're showing Ruel here, meaning I think it should have been like top model Lulika, or I think we already had Tywin. Someone else should have been here because Ruel's already been in the coins. She's already been in the Mystic Shop, meaning I think they're going to start bringing in old units again. So there'll be a new unit plus an old unit, which I'm not a big fan of, but for the players that really missed out on Ruel and APOC, Ravi, Fallen Cecilia, there's a chance they'll come back sooner to the coins, all right? Anyways, let's wrap it up there, guys. Already super long video, but thank you so much for checking it out with me, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.